So now guys, since we have created the public S3 bucket, you can see that this was the bucket. If I go inside this, you can see that we had an image and we created a subfolder which acts same. Okay, so now if I click on this, you can see that it's public, so I can easily view this. Okay, so if I just, you can see that the URL is simple. You just need to have the bucket name as well as the image name. That's it, that's what we need. Okay, so what's the key? Just remember the key here. Key is what? For the specific image, you can see key is what? Just the key is just the name of the image. That's it. Okay, so if I give you another example, you would just see that we created the images folder. Now in this case, what would be the key? Key would be simply this. Okay, so if I just type this, if I just copy this, in case of publics I'm talking about, so if I just type this, okay, and before this guys, what I need to do is I just need to pass my bucket name. Okay, that's it. So you can see that this is the bucket name. What's the bucket name? HTTP, this is my bucket name, right? Bucket name along with AWS, and after that you just need to pass your key name. Okay, so it's very easy. And in case of public, this is the way you can easily access your image or any document file, right? But the problem here is, if I share this with you, suppose this image is only must be only viewed to those people who have an active subscription. Okay, so what they can actually do is, like, if they have an active subscription and with just this link anyone can view this file, so it's not possible, right? If I'm creating some kind of educational platform and their things are viewed on base of subscription, like you are viewing the videos if you have purchased any course from Geeks for Geeks suppose. So yeah, viewing the videos is simply not just based on this link. They have some proper token, right? Only those people are allowed to access the videos or files by Geeks for Geeks who basically have the tokens, right? Who are subscribed. Suppose if you are not subscribed and you are trying to view the image, in that case also you can see, if I view this, if I share this file with you, if I share this URL with you, you can easily see this. Okay, let me just go to incognito mode, and here if I just paste this, I'm not logged in into incognito mode. If I paste this, you can see that I get this image. So that's good when you don't have any kind of subscription. That's really good. Okay, where you have to show some normal images, like if you visit the homepage of Geeks for Geeks, you see the normal banners, images. That's for people who are not subscribed, who are just logged in. That's also fine. Okay, that's fine. In that case, you can use a public bucket. But if you are doing something for subscription, in that case guys, what you can actually do is, instead of this, you must use a private bucket. Okay, so if you have something which you want to show to everyone, go for public bucket. But if you are using some service like a subscription based service, or you want to make things more secure, in that case you have the private bucket. Okay, so for that, first of all, let me just show you one thing, that is, we are going to just show this image directly using Node.js. Okay, let's try to do this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm simply going to create a basic Node.js backend. You can use this for any other kind of backend also. You have to search for some procedures. It's exactly same, just the way of implementation of function is a little bit different. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to type S3 implementation Node.js. Okay, so if I type something like this, I'll get a lot of things. So you can see that from AWS documentation I get this. Okay, but yeah, you can use ChatGPT also, or Bard also, whatever AI tool are you using. So you can see that first of all you have to click on this. You are creating and using S3 bucket. So if you want to search about this, you can click here. Now you can see configuring as Amazon, and then access permission, and then working with Amazon S3 policies. So you can see we have a lot of things here. Okay, if I suppose click on this, so you can see that it's just giving me some important things which you need to import. Okay, it's actually in terms of what? Node.js. You can see it's in terms of Node.js. Okay, but yeah, if you're using some other thing, like in backend you're using PHP, so in PHP the case would be different, but yeah, for Node.js this is the case, right? So you can see that if you want to know your buckets, you can actually know it this way, right? And then after that guys, you have a lot more things here. right? But we don't really need to do this. You can see that if you want to upload a file to Amazon S3 bucket, this is the procedure. Just for reference, I am explaining you this, I'm just showing you this, okay? But for now, what we are going to do is we are directly going to use our S3, okay? We are directly going to use our S3 into our node just to get the images, okay? Just to get the images. Right now we are not talking about the uploading images. Let's try to do this, guys. So I was going to create a fresh Node.js backend. So here, guys, what I'll do is I'll just create a new folder here, and here I'll just type what? I'll just simply type AWS underscore tutorial, okay, tutorials. And inside this, guys, I'll just create a temp node backend. I'm just naming it something like that, but yeah, you can name it to your proper backend. Okay, I'm just naming it something like this so that I know, remember that it's just a normal backend which I don't really use. Okay, so yeah, I've just named it temp node backend. And what I'll do is I'll just need VS Code. So please install VS Code. The procedure is just go to VS Code website, install that, and then you will get the options by checking all the checkboxes in the installation setup of VS Code. Okay, so I'm assuming that you have installed VS Code. Inside this, guys, what we need is we need to create an index.js file. So those of you who know Node.js, this is for you. Those who don't know Node.js can actually skip a few seconds, but I would say just watch this, okay? You'll understand the purpose of public, the purpose of private. Okay, so here I'm just going to just paste temporary node backend. Okay, so I'm just going to choose actually express JS. If I just type express JS, what you would get is you would basically get Express.js website, and here we have a lot of things. What we need to do is I would just go on getting started, okay, installing, and here we have a lot of things to install. If I need to install Express.js, I just need to type npm install Express.js. So make sure Node.js is also installed if you are someone who uses Node.js. So here what I'll do is I'll just type this, and it would actually, okay, just a second, guys, I did one mistake. First of all, I need to type npm init, okay, init, because we have to initialize our backend first. And I'll just gonna hit it, enter. That's done. And now, guys, I'll just type this command to install express.js here, right? That's it. Now, guys, I'm gonna go here, and here what we have is we're gonna go to this hello world example, and I'll just copy this basic example of express.js backend, and I'll just paste it inside index.js. That's it. Now let's try to use this. For using this, we need to install nodemon. So you can just type npm inodemon. Flag G means globally, so that you don't have to install again and again. So mine is already installed globally. It's not visible here, but it's installed globally. That means I don't need to install it again and again. So I'm just going to type nodemon here, nodemon. Okay, so nodemon. Okay, nodemon. So if I type this, automatically the application would start, and here you can see there is some issue. What's the issue? You can see that already I'm running some kind of code. Let me just stop it. Okay, so let me just restart this. Actually, I was running this somewhere else. So you can see that server example app listening on this port 3000. I can change the port also later on. If I change the port to 8000, it would run on port 8000, so that's fine. Okay, so now you can see your backend is running, basic backend is running. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use AWS. Okay, for that, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to search for AWS pre-signed URL, something like this. So you would get something named as pre-signed URL. This is basically for generating tokens. Okay, so this is important. So for public or private, in both cases, you are going to generate pre-signed URLs. Okay, and you can directly go for URLs. That's also fine. Like if I just type here, okay, if I just, for example, if I just type here, if as a response I want to send some file, okay, so suppose if I want to load some file, so suppose the file URL was what? File URL equals what? So if I suppose try to send it like which we have here, suppose this was the file which we were showing, okay, this was for public, right? Public bucket, this was the public bucket, Harshal Jain 2403, this was the public bucket, right? So from that we got this image. We don't have any token here. You can see anyone can easily get this image. Okay, so if I just if I want to show this image, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, instead of this res send, for now, for example, I'm just doing it in this specific basic API, but you can create your own API. So I'm just going to say that res dot actually I'm just going to uncomment this. Okay, so res dot send, and I'm just going to send this img tag. Okay, I'm just going to send this img tag. Let me just check what's the issue here. Okay, actually the issue here is, okay, I have to just give it single inverted commas, and you can see that now it's running. Now let's try to run localhost 8000. Suppose here I'm just gonna run localhost 8000. Okay, I'll just run it here, localhost 8000. So you can see that as soon as I just load this, you can see that now it's visible. Suppose now if I just hide this, okay, what I'll do is I'll just make this specific bucket as private. Okay, right now it was public, so you can easily get the image. You can see I'm able to get the image very easily. Okay, to be like to you if you know Node.js, you can easily use this in some other API also. I hope you know basics. Okay, right now you can see that image is visible. I simply sent it to front end. Okay, so this is some case where you just want to send the image. That means you don't have any issues with the user, if the user is logged in or not, if the user is subscribed to my platform or not. I'm still going to show him the videos or files whatever I want. Okay, so in that case you can use public, but for private simply mean with private I simply mean that you want to make things secure. Okay, so for that you can simply, for making a bucket private, so some permissions might be by default, like by default it was private, we made it public previously, but right now you can see I'm again going to make it private. Okay, so I'm just going to click on edit, and I'm just going to say block all access. Okay, so I'll just click on confirm. So what I'm saying here is any random user can't access my files from here by just typing the URL. Okay, they need some specific access tokens. Okay, so that's what we call it. Okay, so right now you can see that everything is fine, and we really don't need this for now. Okay, if I want to remove this, I can actually remove this from here for now. Okay, so when you create a bucket, you would see some permissions just like this. Okay, by default permissions are just like this. If you have watched my previous part, you will understand this for public ones. Okay, so you can see that now I changed the permissions. Okay, now I changed the permissions. You can see now this bucket has changed with the permission. So now what I'll do is, if I try to reload, you can see that I'm getting this error. Okay, let me just show you with the Node.js. If I just save this for now, and now let me just try to reload this. Okay, so right now it's saved in the cache, so I'll just remove this, and now I'll just retry to load it here. Okay, so now I'll just change the URL. I'm just trying to access this one for example, and let's test this. Okay, so now I'll just go to my localhost 8000. I'm trying to load this, and you can see that I'm not able to get the image. Okay, so in the private case you can see you are not able to get the image. Why? Because obviously you will get some error from Amazon. If you try to print the errors, you will get the errors also. Right now I've not printed anything because I've just pasted the URL. So you can see that if you're not allowed, you won't get the image. Okay, so now how to get the image? So for that you have to generate the pre-signed URL. That means you have to generate the token. Okay, so pre-signed URL, it's just like, I'm just going to call a function in Node.js, and this request would go to AWS. It would give me some kind of URL, and with that URL I'm allowed to access the image. What kind of URL? If I click open here, okay, now you can see, so you can see this is some other kind of URL. Okay, so this is what you can see I'll get in response of pre-signed URL. Okay, so this would be updated in some time, so you can see that this is some secret token also is available here along with your image. Okay, so that means now it's only visible to those people who have access to the bucket. That means who are subscribed, right? I hope you're getting this. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to do the same in Node.js here. So guys, for that I need to install one thing. I'm just doing it here only, but you can do it in any other page. So I'm just going to say that import, I need to import S3 client. Okay, so you just need to import S3 client from okay, actually guys, we need to install this also, AWS SDK client 3. Okay, S3. Okay, so we need to install this. I'll just install it in the backend. So I'm just going to type npm I client S3. So for Node.js you have to do this. Actually if I just take you here, you can see that there are some things which you can check out from here. Okay, so a lot of things are available here. You can just check out the steps, but these steps are just I just ignore these steps. Okay, I just search for it. I just use ChatGPT, and you need to just make some installations. Okay, so after this, I'll just make a basic setup here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say const S3 client. Okay, S3 client equals new S3 client. Okay, so first of all, from what user you are trying to access things. Okay, so by the way, we are the root user, but what we did was we created some IAM users, right? That means some sub users. Okay, so with the help of those, I'm going to generate a few things. Okay, so I'll just go to IAM. Okay, let me just show you the users. For example, I'm going to generate access token for a specific user. Okay, so you can see inside users we have Virajan admin, right? So I'm just gonna generate some access tokens for this one. Okay, so if you just go here, you'll just go to permissions. Okay, and you have some permissions boundary, a lot of things are actually available here. What you need to do is you just need to go to security credentials, and here we have access keys, create access key. And what you can do is you can just go for CLI, your plan to use this access key to enable Amazon CLI to use to access your Amazon account, AWS account. Okay, and after that I can just click on I understand. You can just pick any as per your demand. I'm just going to pick CLI for now. Okay, it's just temporary. Okay, you can just click next, and if you want to just click some tag, but right now it's fine. So you can see you got access key and secret key. So what you can do is you can just have your access key and secret key pasted here. Okay, so I'm just going to say that what we're gonna do is we're gonna paste our access key directly, but you would be creating environment variables later on. Okay, so I'm just going to paste my access key, right? And what's my secret key? So I'm just going to copy this, although you must never share these secret keys, by the way, but still I'm just saving it here. Okay, so yeah, this is my secret key. Okay, I did one mistake, const S3 client. So yeah, it's const S3, and now after that you can see that the error might also be gone, right? So you can see that now we have everything fine here. You can just check out the region. For now I've just given this region, but I'll just fix it later on if I need to. I think I need to change the region later on, but right now I'm just naming it like this. Okay, so now after this, guys, what we need is we need to check this. Okay, we need to check this. Now our access key is generated. Okay, let me just go to security credentials. You can see that access key is available here, right? We need to import one more thing, that is const get signed URL from S3 pre-signed. Okay, so you just need to install this also. What you can do is you can just install this directly if you want, but I'm just going to install a few things. So I'm just gonna type here npm I. Okay, so if I hit this, now you can see that that would be also installed. Okay, after doing this, guys, what I'm gonna do is I am just going to do the same things. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to say const, you're just going to decide some params, and you need to decide what is your bucket. So I have to write my bucket name, what from which bucket you are picking the image. Okay, from which bucket are you picking the image? So my bucket name was what? HERSHAL Jan, and we named it like 24, and what was the date? 0209. So you have to write the proper bucket name, right? This was the bucket name which we had some stores, we have some images, right? After this bucket name, you need to type the image. Okay, so what was your image name? So I think my image name was light one, something like this. I think this was the image name, and extension was PNG, right? Somewhat this was the image name. We'll check this. Okay, and what else you need? You need to say that in how many minutes, how many seconds your URL would expire. You can define that, but right now I'm just leaving it just like that. After that, guys, I'll just say const. Now I'm going to generate a URL. Okay, so I'm just going to say get generate URL, and if you want to expire, you can expire this also in this much milliseconds. I'm not going to expire this for now. I'm just going to say that get object URL, and just import it at the top. You can see get object command. That's it. Okay, so after this, guys, you got the URL. Now after that, what you need to do is you just need to show this URL. Let's try to show this. Okay, now this time I'm going to show this. Am I allowed to do this or not? So now this time if I just reload this, you can see that I'm not getting anything. Why I'm not getting anything? Because still I'm not allowed to get the permissions. Okay, I think it's light flag 3. I'm sorry. We are going to just change this to light flag 3. Okay, now I think it must do something. Okay, so you can see still I'm not able to get things. Why I'm not able to get things? Because I don't have the access. Okay, if you don't have the access, how you're able to get things? Okay, guys, I'm gonna do one thing. I'm just going to create one function instead of this. Okay, so I'll just create one function. Okay, so I'm just going to name this function as async function, and I'm just going to name this function as get object URL so that you can use it in future also. Get object URL. Inside this you need to just pass the key is just your file name. Okay, wherever is your file. Okay, and inside this I just would say that just do the same things. Okay, just do the same things, and you're just passing this. Okay, you are just passing your params, right? You're just passing your params, and then you're returning this. Okay, so now instead of this, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to uh, call this. So let I'm just going to call this. So I'm just gonna say that res dot send, and here I can just say okay, I'll just get the URL first. Okay, so let image URL equals, and here we just need to get the URL. So I'm just going to provide the image name. Okay, so image name was what? Again, I'll just check the key directly from here. So I'll just go to AWS first. Okay, so here you can see this was the image, this was the key. Let me just copy this key. Okay, that would be better, that would be easy. So you can see I just pasted the key here, right? Perfect. Now after that I'm just going to send this as a response. Okay, if there is an error I would just throw the error also. If everything is fine I would just send this as a response. Okay, so let's try to do this. So you can see that now I'm trying to achieve the same things here. Let's click on refresh, so you can see that what's the problem here. Okay, okay, actually I have to send it as an img tag. I'm sorry, res dot send, and here you can just show img tag here, right? You can just show the img tag which we created previously, something like that. Okay, now let me just reload. So you can see that now I'm able to get the image. Okay, perfect. So yep, you can see that now I'm able to get the image because I got the public I got the signed URL. Okay, and also make sure that this specific person who from which you have taken this, you can see that for this person Virajan admin, it has what rights? It has S3 rights, right? We gave this person S3 rights. You can check out the IAM part. The link would be available in the description, and today also in this specific video we created this user, so we gave permission, S3 permission, right? So you can see that now I'm allowed to have this. If I talk about this if I talk about this, you can see that I am getting a URL. Let me just print the URL also so that I know what's the exact URL. I'm just going to print the URL somewhere here. Okay, I'm just going to print the URL. So console dot log image URL, right? So you would be getting the URL now. Okay, so let me just refresh, inspect, and you can see guys that now get the URL also. Okay, hopefully I get this. Okay, what I did was I am just trying to print this. Okay, so it's actually okay, I'll just do one more thing. It's actually await and it's async method, right? And once I get the URL, then only show the URL. Okay, and this function must be doing something. Okay, so now let's okay, now let's try to do this, right? Await here also. Okay, because this might take some time. Okay, once the task is done, then only show the image URL. Okay, so let's try to do this. If I hit this, can see that site cannot be reached. Okay, let's check what's the error here. You can see that then is not okay, I did one mistake here. If I got the image URL, then send this, else just throw the error. Okay, so now because this time now image URL is just a string, it's not a return from a function, it's just a string. Okay, so let's try to do this. You can see now I'm getting this. If I inspect, because we use async await, that's why. So you can see that okay, anyways, you would see that now if I go to elements, you can see that this is the link. Okay, you would see that this is the link. Okay, so you are able to get the link here. Okay, you can see that this is what, if I just open this, you can see that this is a signed URL getting from AWS. Okay, perfect. So you can see that this is the signed URL. You are only getting this when you're authenticated. You can't guess this, and no one else can get this. Okay, no one else can get this. Only the person who has this right set of tokens can get this image URL, and you can see that this URL expires in sometimes automatically, or you can set some expiry also later on. But that's the purpose of public and private bucket. Okay, so this is for private bucket. You can see that we got a token, and this is a total signed URL. Okay, a totally signed URL, and this would help you to have things. Okay, so you can see that if I try to view things directly, you can see you would have some access issues. But if you have a signed URL, you can see that this is a signed URL. This is for people who have some kind of subscription. I only want to show video to those people. For example, Netflix, not everyone can watch movies. Okay, even if you have the URL of Netflix video movie, you have wondered, right, that how they manage the subscription. They manage subscription just like this. Your video would be having some token, your video URL coming from backend would be having some token. If you don't have that token, you can't watch that. Okay, so it's very beneficial. You can check out this, and I hope you understood the purpose of public and private. Okay, so this is a very basic overview. Right now we just try to get the images. Later on we'll try to post images also, post files also to S3, and we're just trying to get the image. We can get some video also. Okay, we can get some video also. If instead of this, suppose if I just go here and I'll just upload something. Okay, I'll just upload something. What? I'll just upload some video file. Okay, so I'll just go to videos, and let's try to upload this specific video. Okay, I'll just try to upload this specific video. Okay, so you can see that now if I just select this one, okay, you have to select this one, upload. Now you can see that it's taking some time because this is a big file. So let's wait for a few minutes and then I'll come back. Guys, after uploading, let's go back to our video file. You can see that our video file is also here. I'm just gonna copy the key of this video file and I'll just paste the key. You can assume that this key is coming from the database, from your database. Suppose you are creating some user database and some movie database, so you would have the key name for the movie file, right? So yeah, I'm just pasting the movie file name. Okay, that's it. You just need to pass the movie file name, and with that you'll just get the whole URL to access the movie. That's it. Okay, so let's try to use this. Okay, so let me just reload this so you can see that it's actually trying to access things. By the way, it's a video. Okay, so it's actually a video. Let me just make this a video URL. Okay, so I'll just comment this out. Okay, I'm just going to comment this out, and okay, let me just make it normal first. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to comment this out. This time I'm showing a video, so for video you're going to return something else. By the way, in front end we just return the URL. We don't send it like this. We send it things like in JSON format, so there is no issue for now. But right now I'm just going to send it like this. Okay, so right now if I just have this, let's write the name again. Okay, I missed out the name. So this is the key. Okay, and I'll just paste the key here, and you just need to, this time you are returning a video. Okay, so I'm just returning in the video tag, right? So video URL, video URL, video URL access, show the video URL, and instead of this we have to show it in the video tag. Okay, so you can just show it just like this is a normal HTML video tag, right? So let's try to do this again, guys. So now if I just try to reload, you can see that I am getting that video. Okay, perfect. And this is from AWS signed URL. Okay, so if you don't have the access, if suppose I remove the access of this user, let's try to remove the access of this user. So I'll just what a user I'm talking about. So let me just go to IAM, right? In the users, you can see that this specific user has what permission. You can see that it has MERN policy permission. So if I go to MERN policy, okay, if I go to this policies, and if I go to MERN policy, for example, customer manage MERN policy, and from here suppose I remove this user. Okay, so I would just go to, okay, actually I've given it with user groups, I'm sorry. So I would just go to user groups. Inside this I have given access to Viraj and admin. So I'm just gonna remove this user for now. Let's test this. So I'll just delete, okay, I'm sorry, I would just remove this user from here, remove. Okay, now once I remove this, hopefully the access is removed. Let's try to do it. It would take a few minutes to do this. Okay, so we'll wait. So you can see that now it didn't show the video. Why? Because I don't have the access. Okay, I don't have the access. If I just go to console, for now I don't have the error, I have to handle it properly. But you can see that if I don't have the access, if the specific keys which I generated for user Viraj and admin don't have the access to use this bucket, how will you be able to get these videos or images? Okay, so this is making things very secure, right? So you can see that if your bucket has the access, then only you are allowed to watch the subscribed images or videos, right? Very beneficial. So again, I'll just add the user. So you can add multiple users to this policy, to this user group. This user group is joined with this policy. Okay, so these three things are interconnected. Policies are used inside this user group. All the users inside this user group can use the policy. Okay, so now if again, if I try to use this now, let me just try to get this video. So now you can see that I'm able to get this. Perfect. So you can see that it's very easy, you are getting everything. Now you can just show this in your front end very easily, right? So guys, I hope you understood the purpose of private and public S3 buckets. Okay, so in the upcoming videos we are going to upload things using Node.js and different kind of tools. So stay tuned, and I hope you understood this video. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends, and save this video somewhere for future, because I know that you are watching this video but after a few days you will forget the procedure. Okay, so just save this somewhere and share it with your friends. Just share it with your family members also, so that they know what's S3. Okay, so that's it for today. I will see you in the next one. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.